Okay, and ready when you are.
Okay. We're Steve and Jesse Pinney. We live in the Minnetrista area. We decided that when we built a new house that we wanted to go to a LEED standard, and one of the great things that helped us get to that LEED standard was by adding geothermal as a heat source for heating the house. We coupled that with in-floor heating, and it provides us with a very, very consistent, even heat throughout the house. With the reservoir that the geothermal system has, you don't end up with a whole lot of cycling. It doesn't come on and off every other minute like you do with a forced air system, and that's been, very, very pleasing. We've been extremely pleased with the low maintenance on it, with the cost on it. When we looked at it, our options were electric resistance heat or geothermal or propane. We do not have natural gas accessibility or some sort of fuel. And with the geothermal and the electric rates that went with it, the economics were just compelling that said that the geothermal ought to be the way that we go. We use a well point type system where we've got 8 U-tube wells for it rather than a horizontal loop field. And that has provided all the heat that we've needed in any winter. We have not experienced a time where we've had to go to backup heat in order to get the amount of heat that we need for the house. It's just really, really a sound system, and as I said before, it's low maintenance, no worries with it, and it's very, very consistent heat.
And although we have never had a power outage here, with our backup generator, we feel that we are very capable of heating this house should there be a power outage of any sort. So that is not a big concern at this point.
What was your experience with UMR?
UMR got into the act with actually being pulled in by our builder, and we were extremely pleased with the experience that we had with UMR and all the way through. We found them to be extremely professional in how they presented themselves and how they presented the product. All of the interactions that we had with them were very, very professional, and found the personnel to be extremely knowledgeable. There was never any guessing or, well, I'll get back to you on that. It was, they knew their business right then and there. The experience from talking to the builder was extremely pleased to work with them, and I guess that was borne out by the fact that he recommended them as the source for a geothermal unit when we decided that that was the way that we were going to go to build. Since we've lived in the house, we've talked to UMR on a regular basis, and we have them come out in the spring and check the unit just to make sure it's all set up for air conditioning, that everything is as it should be. And we also do that in the fall prior to the heating season. It's never been anything that they've had to do, but they run the checks, and you go away from it with the peace of mind that your system is set up and ready to go.
I think one of the things that stand out in my mind is one of the first times they came out to maintenance the unit. The gentleman said something to the effect that when you have a car, you maintenance your car by checking the oil, your brakes, your belts, and that sort of thing. But he said most people don't even think about doing that with their furnaces or their heating units. And after he said that, it just made such an impact that is such an important part of this house that of course we should maintenance it. And that's what I call is maintenance it. It's just not changing the air filter. It's doing a complete maintenance, and they give it a really good going over, and so we have never had any problems with our unit.
Yeah, it's been extremely reliable, and I think part of that is making sure you take care of the system the way it should be. And so far they've not had to do anything, but you run the peace of mind of knowing that a professional has looked at your system and it's ready to go for the winter or ready to go for the summer. And when it's 95 degrees out in the summertime, you're not going to be wondering where the repairman is. And when it's 25 below in the winter, you're not going to be wondering where the repairman is. It works.
Good.